Not much can be said about Tom Jones that hasn't been said already. He's tasted fame in ways most celebrities can't even hope to acquire. And trust us, he's reaped all the benefits his position allows. The crooner has lived the high life since it was offered to him and has not looked back since. With the kind of lifestyle you'd expect to read about in fictionalized memoirs of celebrities long gone, Tom Jones retains a dazzling aspect of old Hollywood that we don't see much of anymore. Tom lives his life comfortably and never actually shows off his wealth, so it's hard to figure out exactly how he spends his millions. Even so, with access to groupies and mansions at his disposal, Tom Jones cannot be accused of not living life to the fullest. Here's a rundown on the luxurious lifestyle of Tom Jones.
I love that song. I think it's a wonderful song. It was written by Gillian Welch, and you know, I think she got Elvis's life in 3 verses, you know.
Not that a legend like Tom Jones needs any introduction, but let's refresh our memories anyway by recapping some of the singer's most iconic moments. Born in 1940 at 57 Kingsland Terrace in Treforest, Tom Jones has about 60 years of experience in the music and acting industry. And to think he started as a frontman for Tommy Scott and the Senators, a Welsh beat group. Eventually though, back in 1964 is when he was finally allowed to showcase his own talent. While his first single was a bit of a dud, it was his second single, It's Not Unusual, under Decca, that put him on the trajectory to become the living legend that we know and love today. Throughout his life, the What's New Pussycat singer has achieved every award under the sun, some twice, and more than that, he's managed to meet and befriend his heroes. Elvis Presley and Tom Jones met back during a filming break at Paramount Studios in 1965, and they'd been good friends up until the former's passing. During the run of his internationally successful variety show, This Is Tom Jones, he had the likes of Janis Joplin, Cher, Ella Fitzgerald, The Who, and Peter Sellers perform with him on stage. His friendship with iconic singer Elvis Presley is worth expanding upon here, as the two became fast and long-term friends pretty soon after meeting. They were both working in Vegas at the same time, and they'd often stay up late, belting out gospel tunes together. The two could often be seen at holidays together, vacationing and letting loose amidst all the camera flashes. Back in 1967, Jones also fell head over heels for Las Vegas, kicking off his 45-year love story with the city. He also started performing at the Flamingo and scoring some sweet deals with Caesar's Palace, which really boosted his reputation as an entertainer. He performed for US President Bill Clinton and was knighted by late Queen Elizabeth II for his services to music. Tom has also dabbled in acting and has even won awards for some of those roles. So, it's not at all surprising that the voice judge and living legend Tom Jones lives quite the comfortable life. In 2023, his net worth is estimated to be around $250 million. With all that money at his disposal, it's not surprising that Tom Jones has lived in some of the most impressive houses money can offer. Tom got married to his high school sweetheart, Linda Trenchard, at the age of 16, and the two stayed married until she passed in 2016. We suppose another perk of his luxurious lifestyle is his ability to get away with stuff like this unscathed. In fact, he's even celebrated for having affairs with famous celebrities in his time, and that's considered another feather in his cap. But actions have consequences, and back in 1987, he was involved in a pretty nasty legal battle with model Catherine Berkery, who claimed to have been pregnant with his child. Later in 2008, he did admit to the fact, but expressed no interest in meeting his son. We suppose he can also get away with being a deadbeat parent more easily than the rest of us. There's also the matter of Tom Jones becoming a tax exile back in 1974 after the UK's election of a Labour government. He did this to escape a 98% income tax and moved to the United States. Here, he and Linda purchased Dean Martin's mansion at 363 Copa de Oro Road in Los Angeles for a reported $500,000 back in 1976. The property, often referred to as the Pink Palace, is a beautiful mock 18th century French mansion with 6 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. When he purchased the property, Tom allegedly had all of his furniture from Weybridge shipped over to decorate it. He also upped the security of the house and installed electronic gates adorned with Welsh dragons. After 2 decades of owning the house, the couple continued the house's legacy by selling to another famous entertainer, Nicolas Cage, in 1998 for a reported $6.469 million. There are reports of Tom and his wife living in Thwindw House from 1988 to 1998, a gorgeous vale of Glamorgan property worth about £2.6 million in 2019. Set in Cowbridge, Wales, the stunning mansion with a classic countryside aesthetic blended seamlessly with the house's more modern features. After 10 years of living here, Tom decided to move back to the US though, and for better or for worse, this would be the last time he'd permanently stay in LA. With Linda, the crooner moved to a stunning Beverly Hills location, one that they ended up residing in for 20 years. The 8,000 square foot villa boasts 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, along with any and all amenities an A-list celebrity might need to keep himself entertained. The villa is located in a highly sought-after community of Mulholland Estates and is painted a pretty peach color. With a grand curved staircase, a fresco dining space, a wet bar, and an entertainment room, the mansion is a dream for anyone trying to live the high life. As expected, Tom added quite a few touches of his own to the villa, and feline-themed art was very much a staple of the house back when the two still resided there. The property has only increased in value since it was purchased, and back when Tom sold it after his wife's passing, it was worth a whopping $8 million. While the mansion remains a great source of joy for Tom, he explained his reason for parting with it had more to do with Linda's passing than anything else. He explained that she'd always wanted to move back to their hometown, but because she got sick, they weren't able to. As her dying wish, she asked him to move back to London, and he also said that the house hadn't felt the same since his wife's passing. So now Tom Jones lives in a lavish London apartment, one that's fairly private. Though Tom Jones has lived in many beautiful mansions, we can't help but notice that even his influence has limits. Did you know that Tom Jones once turned up at Pentwyn House, the $3.2 million mansion in Cardiff, and told the owner point blank that he was interested in purchasing it for his wife? Despite his admirable motives though, even Tom Jones couldn't secure the house for himself and left the property without its keys. Despite having access to private jets at a moment's notice, his own or ones on rent, some journeys must still be made via road. And for situations like that, Sir Tom Jones is more than well equipped. He's rumored to have owned a stunning vintage Rolls-Royce Phantom 6, one that can now be purchased for £75,000 in all its blazing glory. The Rolls-Royce has some custom modifications like a bespoke cigar case, Philips vinyl record player and Sony TV in the rear, but the selling point of the vehicle is its license plate, which reads TJ Big. The car model itself has a unique and specialized history, where only custom models are left for specific people like the Queen of England. Slightly less impressive but equally magnificent cars in his collection include the Mercedes-Benz 230 SL, the Bentley GTC, and he's even been spotted with a Jaguar out and about in the streets. Though we bet he prefers to be driven around these days, back in his prime, Tom Jones could be seen showing off his new rides to a plethora of doe-eyed fangirls. There's more to living a luxurious life than the properties or cars you own though, and many things in Tom's lifestyle proves that he knows how to make the best of his circumstances. Obviously, there are his comfortable vacations and holidays, but more than that, Tom Jones has access to certain things even other celebrities don't. Take for example his contract with The Voice. Despite being one of the 4 celebrity judges on the show, Tom is the only one of them who doesn't have to pay for his travel accommodations for the show. And when we calculate the numbers, trust us, it adds up to a lot. According to reports, throughout the filming in London in 2013 for the show's 5th season, Tom stayed at the Savoy Hotel and the bill was footed to BBC. The $15,000 bill that emerged from a 21-day stay at the hotel was paid with the show's licensing fee, a privilege other judges at the time were not given. Not that bothered them that much, since they all have their own agreements with the show. Even so, the showrunners explained that Sir Tom doesn't even need a butler, since they're at his beck and call all day. That's the kind of privilege legend-like notoriety provides Tom Jones with. Today, he is still very much a part of the entertainment industry, and his influence on the music world is both noticed and revered.